Hello and welcome to Undercurrent Stories. I'm Bob Wells. My guest today is Adrian Riley, renowned local walking enthusiast and rambler. In this episode, which was recorded in early March, just before the COVID-19 lockdown, I join Adrian for a 6-mile early morning walk on the public footpaths in the South Lincolnshire countryside around the village of Baston. Adrian explains his fascination for public footpaths and how he's constructed a number of circular walks, which he shares on his blog for both local people and other walkers to enjoy. We then talk about Adrian's recently completed charity walk along the 290-mile Macmillan Way, part of which we walk on, and he tells us about his latest project, which rediscovers a 130-mile circular walk, first created by Robert Brownlow in 2005. As we travel through the South Lincolnshire countryside, we experience history as we pass the Carr Dyke Roman Canal, the Roman Road of King Street and the disused Catesbridge turnpike bridge. We see the flooded fields and damage caused by the recent storm Dennis and experience the wonders of nature, including a close encounter with a barn owl. Later on in the show notes, we provide details of where you can find out more on Adrian's walks and the various sites and attractions that can be visited. I hope you enjoy the show. Hello. So today we're going to be walking in my home village of Baston, which is on the western edge of the Fens. About 2,000 years ago it was actually covered in sea, but over the last 2,000 years, starting with the Romans, the area has been well drained, so it's very flat, but as we head further west it starts to get some hills. So we're doing a walk today, and one of the chaps in the village, a man by the name of Adrian Riley, has been posting for some time on Facebook all about his walks. So I thought it would be good to catch up with Adrian and have a walk with him and see what we can see. So welcome to the show, Adrian.
Thank you very much, Bob. Thank you.
Good to see you. And I see you've got your friend here today.
Yes, we've got Oscar the dog. Come on, Oscar. So, I always enjoy walking with Oscar. He's a good companion. Doesn't argue with me. So just gets on with it. So nice to see him enjoying it, country walks as well.
That's great.
So I thought today we've got a nice circular walk. So it's about 6 miles long. It'll take us probably about 2 hours to do. And we're walking from Baston, heading towards the Macmillan Way, which runs along the side of the River Glen. We'll then cross over Catesbridge and head towards the hamlet of Obthorpe, and then from Obthorpe to Wilsthorpe, and then back into Baston. So it's a nice circular walk, and we'll sort of as we cross the A15, you sort of leave the Fens and start to cross over into the limestone belt, and you start to get a few inclines as opposed to the flatness of the Fens.
Oh, that should be good, because it's very flat round here. We're walking quite early on a Saturday morning. We left at 7 o'clock with the hope of catching a bit of wildlife en route. It's nice and quiet. Still very, very muddy after the rain that we've had for so long, haven't we, Adrian?
Yeah, everywhere's very muddy. You sort of this sort of track we're on now is not so bad, but as you sort of like cross fields, sometimes it gets quite hard going. So I guess we've just had so much rain over the past few months. But yeah, actually looking out now, I mean this path's dried up quite a lot. So so hopefully it won't be too bad for us.
No, that'd be good.
Yeah.
So we walk along a track at the moment. Bit of gravel, bit of soil, and on the right hand side we've got a ploughed field, very pale brown, grey skies today. I did hear that we're going to get sunny spells actually, Adrian, so hopefully it'll clear up a bit.
There's a bit of sunshine just behind us in the east there, so the sun's starting to maybe break through a little bit, but yeah, it's more overcast, so yeah.
Just looking over to the east there, we can see what was a gravel pit.
Yes,
and they've done some great work on it, haven't they?
Yeah. So they've made like a big gravel extraction, and sort of left it now to I guess fill with water. So you've got I guess lakes created. So there is a walk actually, Bob. If you
is there?
Where we sort of came up the track, there's like a path off to the right there, and it takes you along where the gravel pits are. And you get quite a lot of wildlife on the lakes that have been created through the gravel extraction.
What sort of wildlife would you see?
Yeah, just sort of. I guess I'm no wildlife expert, but swans and ducks and sort of like water birds. So it's just quite nice. I think this is sort of like one of the beauties of living in Baston that, I don't know, I mean, we've sort of been walking, I don't know, probably 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it just feels like we're in the middle of nowhere at the minute.
It does, doesn't it?
You know,
Yeah.
we're already in the countryside, and you know, you sort of you feel quite away from all the sort of hustle and bustle, as it were.
Yeah.
You know, so it's nice.
Yeah. So have you always been a walker?
So yeah, I've done when I was younger, because I originate from Sheffield, so of course I live next to the Peak District. So when I was younger, I used to do quite a lot of walking in the Peak District, and sort of going out to Hathersage and all the sort of places around Peak District. So there's some beautiful walks out there.
Yeah. So how does walking in the flat fens compare with walking in the hills and the mountains of the Peak District?
Yeah, I guess they were. I guess I think they've both got their own natural beauty, really. So it is nice to go back to the Peak District, and it's a totally different experience. And you know, it's very picturesque and very beautiful.
Yeah.
But I think when you're walking in the fens, I mean, like now, we can see for miles, and beautiful sort of big skies, and you know, I love it. It's just a different experience.
Yeah, yeah. And do you think many people in the village, you know, sort of go on these walks around here?
I think so. I mean, obviously quite a few dog walkers, but you know, I guess in some ways part of the reason why I started to gather sort of like walks around the local area. Because I guess I'm never sure how much people know what walks are available and where they all go to. So yeah, I think people do, but I think also maybe people don't always aware of all the walks that are so close to the villages around sort of Baston and Thirlby and Langtoft.
I noticed that you've been putting on. You've got a blog, haven't you, Adrian?
Yes, I've got a blog. So I guess what I wanted to do, more out of interest for me really, but I'd got a blog that I'd started, and I just started putting all the local walks, on my blog page, and I think it just, I guess it's my own for my own benefit in some ways, but so you just got like a record of all the walks in the local area, and then I started sharing that on Facebook. Yeah. And
which is where I saw them, obviously.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. So obviously, you sort of know that people are viewing the walks, and I hope people are sort of doing the walks as well. So
yeah. Do you ever get people coming up to you in the pub or anything, saying they've been on one of your walks?
No. No, I know people are sort of like doing the walks, and I guess the people that are, the people I know, some of them have done some of the walks. But I guess it's, I guess for me, it's just more about, providing people information, giving something back, giving people information.
That's great.
About, the walks in the local area. Yeah. And it's there for people to use. And I guess I started doing it last year, and I guess we've been through like winter, so hopefully in this coming spring and summer, if we have a summer, people will start to get out there a bit more and sort of like do some of the walks.
Yeah. No, that's excellent. So we're just heading east now. We suddenly turned at a right angle, heading east. And we can see the sun over in the east, just coming up now. So we're not far away. It's quite light. And I know I've done this before, Adrian, and it's the sort of time when you can see foxes and deer.
Yes.
Looking forward to that, actually.
Yeah, you got sort of quite a deer. See quite a few deer early. So we might drop across some wildlife.
It's incredibly flat, isn't it? The further east you look.
It is.
And then if we turn round, you can just start to see some hills and things.
Yeah.
And of course, I guess at one point this area, which was under the sea, would have been sort of on the coast practically.
It would.
Probably where the A15 is.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and I think. Again, I guess it fascinates me. Although I don't know too much about it, but the drains and how the land's been drained.
Yeah.
And I think this started hundreds of years ago, and has gradually, I guess, evolved, and technology, made it better. But I think, gradually, like you say, it was all underwater. But there's a museum at Pinchbeck that is like the museum. It tells you about how the land's been drained, and one of my things to do, to sort of go and I guess explore that a bit more and find out a bit more about it.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing to do. Find out a bit more. There's also a couple of wildlife nature reserves a bit further east as well, isn't there?
Yeah, there are. So
Willow Brook or Willow Tree, I think it is.
Yeah. So there's like the Baston Fen Nature Reserve.
Yeah.
And then sort of further along the nature reserve as well. So I mean, we're heading towards the I guess the river in the Macmillan Way, and I think if you sort of head right when we get there, you head down towards the nature reserves, and sort of again, sort of just quite a nice, quiet sort of place to be.
Yeah,
so you get quite a few bird spotters down there as well.
Do you?
So yeah.
We're heading north again now, and there's a field here. Must be, I don't know what it is growing, but it must be a couple of metres high, whatever they're growing.
Yeah, I think it's called miscanthus, I understand, and I think it's a biofuel, and I think every year they'll sort of like chop it down, dry it, and then it just regrows again.
Does it?
So yeah, and there's obviously, we've got a field coming up on our left, and then further down to our right in the east, there's quite a long, big area with the same this miscanthus in there.
So this is going to come up in the spring, and it'll be a totally different outlook.
It will. Well, everything's sort of like ploughed and sort of like ready for planting, and it will be completely different. Yes. Yeah.
I'm amazed how he has so much energy running around the fields on a 6 mile walk. Is he going to be doing that all the way?
I would have thought so. Yes, yeah. He'll be very active. He's a springer, so he just loves to be out. Yeah. So. You mentioned the word walk, and he's like a rocket to the door.
Is he really?
Yes, yeah. And he loves it, and it's nice to see him. I love it, like when he's walking away and his tail's wagging away there, he'll just keep going and going and going, and then when we get home he'll just like drop. That'll be it,
after a well-earned lunch, I should suggest.
Yes, yeah. So, but he's always very active, and he's obviously got the scent of something at the minute, so he's having a good sniff round.
Does he chase animals at all?
Small animals he'll chase.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful, of course, if we're sort of like going along by the lakes where the quarry is.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get swans and ducks on the river as well. So.
And he shows interest in them.
He shows interest. He's a lot better than he used to be when he was a bit younger.
Yeah.
So he won't go in and chase them. I think you don't want to confront a swan if it's the wrong side of it. So I think he's learnt that as well.
Well, he's learnt the hard way, has he?
He has learnt the hard way.
I see. Is he okay with runners?
Yeah,
because a lot of people run around here, don't they?
Yeah.
Including myself. Although I've never met Oscar.
No, running a cyclist, he's quite good, and I guess he's more interested in like now. He's obviously spotted something.
Yes. We can see in the distance.
In the distance, yeah. So he's off. So I'm not sure what's going to happen here. There we go.
What is that?
I think was that like a rabbit or a hare? I don't know. So he's now disappeared into the miscanthus. So let's hope he comes back.
I'm sure he will.
I guess that's what he's trained to do. I don't know. We got him from a rescue centre. Here he comes.
Here
Good boy.
he is.
Come on, Os.
I'm just looking over here to this field over here in the east, absolutely covered in water. There's like a little small pond that's appeared as a result of the rain. I mean, you must have, if you do this walk regularly, Adrian, you must have seen, the effects of the rain.
Yeah, no, it's been, well, I guess you see it in the fields. And I think like a good measure of it is when we get to the River Glen now. You'll see, you just get a sense of where the river's at in terms of like the height of the river, also the speed of the flow of the river as well. But yeah, you sort of, I mean, the fields have been absolutely swamped with water over the last few months.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you know? I mean, there's, like you said, there is water about, but it's certainly better than it has been.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it will return to some sort of normality after the devastation that we've had around the country.
Yeah.
And a little bit drier.
Let's hope so.
We're coming up now to the River Glen, which has got an embankment each side to protect it. Do you know much about the River Glen, Adrian?
If I'm honest, I don't know an awful lot about the River Glen, but I do know that so when I walk the Macmillan Way, the River Glen sort of like flows out towards Surfleet, and there's like several rivers that sort of in that area, so
Yeah.
it's like a I guess a branch of several rivers that eventually feed into Baston and out to the sea.
So we're coming up to the river, and as Adrian mentioned, the river itself is on the Macmillan Way. And you've walked this, haven't you, Adrian, the Macmillan Way? Where does that start? Where does that finish? How long is it?
Yeah. So I have walked the Macmillan Way. So I guess again that was something that I've been thinking about for quite a while, really. And with all these things, you can think about it. And I think I suddenly decided one weekend I'm going to start doing this walk. So the walk itself goes from Baston. It's 290 miles, and it ends up in a place called Abbotsbury in Dorset.
290 miles.
290 miles.
That's quite a trek.
It is. I didn't do it all in one go. I did it over multiple weekends. I think it took me about 21, 22 days, I think, to do the walk.
Yeah.
I just really enjoyed it. And
So was it a case of sort of starting off, going back to your house, doing a bit more, back to your house, that type of thing?
So that's how it started. So because I guess we're fairly relatively close to Baston. So I'd started in Baston. First stage was to Surfleet, and then my wife picked me up from Surfleet and dropped me off again the following day, and then from Surfleet back to, I think the second day finished here in Baston. And so I was able to do it in stages, and I don't have to worry about accommodation.
Yeah.
And I guess then that meant I could take Oscar with me as well, so I ain't got to worry about finding accommodation and things for Oscar as well. But of course, as we got further south, it became a bit more challenging in terms of finding places to stay. But that's how it all worked, and and that's all on my blog as well. So they're sort of like the different, I guess it's like a journal of the walk. Experiences and things that dropped across as we sort of did the Macmillan Way, so it's all there. It's quite a good read.
And did you do it for any charities at all?
I did it for Macmillan Cancer Support, and I raised about £800 for that, just over £800. So
that's brilliant.
I was really, really pleased with that. I guess as I was doing the walk, and it generated more and more interest. More and more people reading about the sort of walk on my blog page, and then sort of donating to Macmillan as well. And again, it just I didn't I guess necessarily set off to start raising money, but you thought as you start doing it, you think, this is like really interesting, and maybe I can raise some money as well for a good cause. And I was really pleased. I've done the walk and sort of raised quite a bit of money for Macmillan Cancer Care as well.
Yeah. Brilliant. So we've got a style to go. Are we actually going to walk along the river then?
We are.
Yeah.
So we're going to sort of I guess cross the stile now, and then we're actually going to, as we go up the very steep bank in front of us, we actually then join the Macmillan Way. So as we get to the top of the bank, we can turn right, and as we said earlier on, if you turn right, literally you could keep going along that path, and I'll take you through the fens. You'll walk through the nature reserves. Further east, and and you'll if you keep walking and walking, you'll end up in Baston. So if you head right, but. As a local walk, it's quite interesting. It's not a circular walk, but you can walk down to the sort of like to the east and sort of down that way, and you'll sort of come across like the nature reserves, and it's just quite sort of quite nice because it just feels like you're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But we're going to go to the bank and we're going to turn left, so that enables us to get on a bit of a circular walk and head towards Kate's Bridge.
Excellent. Right. Let's have a go.
Oscar, come on.
So we're just crossing over the stile now, walking up a little bank, and here we are. We've got the River Glen. It almost looks man-made, this, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. So actually, the river's not too full at the moment. So I've seen it a lot fuller than that.
Yeah.
And flowing a lot faster as well. So yeah, this is one of Oscar's little spots. So normally, not today, but in the spring and summer, he loves to be in the river.
Does he?
So we throw the ball in, and he's quite happy doing that. But
I noticed he seems to know the route, doesn't he? Because he was waiting the other side of the stile before we went in.
Yeah, he does. He knows where he's going.
Yeah.
So he has to wait to see whether we're left or right.
Yeah.
But he does know the route. Yeah. So yeah. And actually, as we if we weren't doing a circular walk, if we were turning around and coming back, he'd be at my feet now, sort of like chasing, watching the ball swim in the river and
Would
so
he?
on. So yeah, he knows his routines.
Yeah. So we're walking now west along the path along the side of the river, and I know we said before that sometimes we're actually in a field as well because we get cows along. I've seen cows along here. There don't seem to be any here today. I don't know whether they're dairy or beef cattle. And as we look west, we can start to hear the road of the A15 in the distance.
Yeah.
That's the main road that sort of is along the edge of the fens from Peterborough up to Lincoln. And we've got a place called Kate's Bridge, which I know has got a little bit of history, but most people now know it as a place to get their fuel for their cars. And there's an old bridge that we'll come to in a minute. And we're going to cross the road, are we?
We are going to cross the road, yeah. So I guess like the A15 is like the boundary between the fens and sort of like as you said earlier on, it's sort of like you start to get into the limestone belt and you start to see a few hills.
Yeah, the sun's really starting to come up now, isn't it?
Yeah, I always think this is quite a nice little spot. So as you sort of look to the east, you know, you're sort of like looking back because you're quite high up on this bank.
Yeah.
You're looking back over towards the village of Baston and across the fields, and you see the sun rising in the east, sort of like the sort of like strata of the clouds and the sun behind it. It looks lovely. Yeah, and then to the right, you've got miles and miles and sort of fields just stretching out into the distance.
And we've got some swans I can see up there.
Yeah, oh yes, yeah, on the river, yeah. And this field to our right now, and this has been completely waterlogged. So this again, it's interesting to see this is draining a bit more now. So
Yeah.
you can see the water that's still sat in there, can't you? It's,
Yeah.
I think this is part of like a bit of a floodplain. So you know, obviously we're walking on the bank, and you know the field below us to our right goes to the river, and you know water will just overspill into this field if the sort of river gets higher.
Yeah.
Come on, you.
Just looking across there, then that might have been a barn owl I saw then.
Oh,
Have you
really?
seen-
Yeah.
Just over there, can you see it?
I can't see it at the minute.
Looks like it could be.
Oops,
We got another dog coming. Four dogs. Four dogs.
Labradors.
4 dogs. We're outnumbered here with 4 dogs.
Hello. Hello.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning. You having a good walk?
Yeah. We've seen the barn owl working.
We just
Oh, you saw it? Yeah, we thought we saw it as well. Yeah.
It works every morning.
Really?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
There's 2 or 3 of them about now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lovely.
You come here every morning, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close on 40 bloody years now.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
We're just recording for a podcast at the moment.
All
so,
right. Oh, sorry.
If you,
No,
don't be sorry. If you don't mind, you'll be in the recording somewhere.
Yeah, all right. Who for?
It's a podcast that's starting up all about sort of interesting stories in South Lincolnshire
Oh,
to start
right.
off with, and it'll be out in a few months.
Oh, good.
Yeah. You live in the village, do you? In Baston?
No, I just live opposite the garden centre at Kate's Bridge there.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Came here in 1975.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, yeah, I just have had Labradors all my life, and it seems a good idea. I'm not quite so fit as I used to. The 5-bar gates seem to hold a lot, more trouble than I used to have.
Yeah.
But, it's lovely. This used to be a floodplain at one time.
Yeah.
They used to have a weir. If you see down there's a weir.
Right.
And in the old days, they used to just stick the weir in, and
The whole place was flooded.
and the whole place was flooded.
Well, we were talking a bit earlier on about a floodplain.
Yes,
you mentioned that, didn't you? So
yeah.
it was actually used as a.
I've never seen it
No,
used, but
no.
that's what these banks. This is
Right.
what this is built for. When these were lifted up, because all this used to flood, and it's to stop. It was to stop flooding further down towards the wash,
Oh, okay.
because now the drains weren't done, and
Yeah.
it might come into play a bit more now.
Absolutely, yeah. You
I
must have
think-
seen some changes recently with all the rain.
Oh yeah, but having said that, I don't know. Was it 2012? I can't remember when we had a lot of. The water was coming over this bank here.
Really?
Yeah, this side. And when I came in 1976, the A15 was closed because of snow.
Oh, really?
We were shut
Oh,
up.
right.
I got a bloke stopping with me because I bought the house the farm when I was 25, and we said we better go down the village shop and get some victuals in. So the village shop next door to the village shop, or behind the village shop, is the pub. So we went into the pub at about 11 o'clock. My girlfriend at the time, She lived in Gretford, and she waded through the snow because she thought I was injured, and I was in the pub.
I love it.
Yeah. So you do this walk every morning, do you?
Most mornings, yeah.
Yeah. How far do you go?
Well, I just go round here.
Yes.
But I can go down, or all the way down to, because we're going out today, you can go all the way down to the nature reserve at the bottom there.
Yes.
But it's just nice.
Yeah.
The
Oscar?
He's made some new friends there,
He
by
has
the
made
looks
some
of
new
it.
friends, yeah.
They're all very friendly together, aren't they?
Well, they're
He's a bit cautious.
Yeah.
well, there will be. 4 of them's a lot.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
You
Here he comes.
Good boy.
You don't get as many. You used to get a lot of people. Perhaps I come early in the morning and I don't see them, but I used to come twice a day. But I'm getting a bit older now and it's harder work. My knees have gone, hence the stick. But
Yeah.
I love it this time of the morning.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
They
Yeah.
used to have kingfishers down here and everything.
Really?
Buzzards. Yeah, you can see red kites. A lot of red kites now.
They've come up a lot, haven't they?
Yeah.
Gradually headed north.
Everywhere, Yeah.
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 No, we were intrigued. I thought it was a barn owl, actually, a minute ago.
Yeah, it's lovely to see them, and I think there's another one over there. There's a pair. They cover a lot of ground, and you can just stand here, and you can just see them, and then they just hover, and then they go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Because Nicholas Watts does a lot with down the fen, doesn't he? He does a lot with barn owl conservation.
Is he the chap that's got the bird hide?
Yeah,
Ah, okay. Yeah.
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 Yeah, he does a lot. He's a big farmer, very good farmer, but he's passionate about wildlife.
Is
and
he?
He puts a lot of bird cover. He does all the bird seed as well, doesn't he? Down at the farm shop.
I've seen the farm shop down
Yeah,
there.
yeah. So, but he's passionate about
Is he?
conservation, which is nice.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Anyway, better get on.
Yeah.
Nice-
Well,
nice-
great
nice-
talking to you. Have a nice walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, off we go. Go on, Oscar.
It's always nice to meet people on these
It's
walks,
lovely.
isn't it?
Yeah,
And-
and everybody will chat, and that's
Yes.
the thing. I love it,
Yeah.
And, you drop, you drop across. Usually, you drop across at least one person or a couple of people just out. So yeah, and just like that, a bit of a conversation, you find out just bits of information, don't you?
well, I never knew about Nicholas Watts
no,
and the
nor did
conservation
I.
thing,
No,
but
no,
I'd seen
no.
the bird hide.
Yeah.
So where are we now then, Adrian?
So we're just on the final stretch towards Kate's Bridge. So we've got a farm off to our right, which is where the cattle are. So I think they're still in their winter accommodation at the moment. So they'll be out and about on the path, I guess, in a few weeks' time. Yeah. So and then there's like a caravan storage place on the right, but also
Yeah.
I think they have pitches for people as well, like weekend, I guess, and actually right on the river, which we'll see in a minute.
Yes. Yeah, this is where I saw a fox once,
Really, yeah.
just across the
Yeah,
other side
yeah.
of the river. It's quite fast flowing here, isn't it?
It is.
It's a bit narrower.
Narrower and
Yeah.
it's quite a nice little spot. I think you can just see here now. So if you look to your right, by the side of the barn, to the left of the barn, there's like a sign, and there's like a public footpath that goes
I can see that.
up towards Thirlby.
Oh, right.
Unfortunately, you have to sort of do a little stretch on the A15.
Yeah.
But then there's like a permissive path that goes past the farmhouse, and then through the fields up to Thirlby.
So just over here then, we've got the what the remnants of the Carr Dyke Canal,
Yes.
which is a Roman canal that ran from Peterborough up to Lincoln, and actually travels through the village of Baston, underneath my house.
Oh, really?
strangely
Is
enough.
it?
Yeah. In fact, there were a few houses nearby where when the Stamford Homes first built the houses, they had to be underpinned.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because there was some subsidence
Yeah.
from the remains of the canal. But most of it's gone now. But you can see remnants. And I think you're referring to a walk to Thirlby. I think part of that goes along by the side of the
It
canal.
does. So you walk, for the most of that walk, you're walking up the side of the canal, the old canal to Thirlby.
Yeah.
So yes, it's another little walk which you can make into a circular walk. A nice pub at Thirlby as well. So stop off there for a lunch.
Very nice.
And back round to Baston, and
Yeah.
pubs in Baston for tea. So it's the ideal
Works
scenario.
well, doesn't it? Yeah. What's this place here? It's like I wouldn't say a porter cabin type building, but it
Yeah,
certainly
it
looks
is.
like a temporary building with some
Temporary.
smoke coming out the chimney.
Yeah.
Some kids' playthings in the garden.
Yeah, it's all part of the caravan place, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a permanent residence for somebody, I think.
So in the distance we can hear now, in fact not very far away now, the A15 traffic. And the A15 runs parallel with an old Roman road by the name of King Street, which... Will we cross that at some point or not?
Not King Street.
No. But certainly Baston seems to be the centre of a lot of different historical remnants. Now this looks like some sort of bird hide over here, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that's come up recently. So I imagine, I guess, like we've got the caravan park to our left.
Yeah.
And I imagine you sort of, if you were in that hide there, you'd probably see quite a bit of wildlife.
I bet you would,
it's nice and quiet. I mean, to see you so close to the A15, you just feel as though you're still quite in the countryside as well.
Yeah. I see we've got the original old bridge that went across.
Yes, it's a good view of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think, I think like you said, people associate Catesbridge now with a petrol station, but there's obviously quite a bit of history.
Yeah.
History there as well.
Yeah. Now I did a little bit of research, Adrian. A little bit of research on Wikipedia.
Right.
And I discovered that where we are now, where this bridge is, used to be a big crossing point.
Oh right.
From Roman times up to medieval times, and it was actually a high point because there's actually stone down here, and they actually used to cross the river because it had stones in it. Okay. And obviously with the advent of wheels and carriages and things, they put a bridge in place. So here we are at the old bridge, which I believe was built in the 18th century. I don't know how long it's been decommissioned. I'm sure something that Wikipedia can tell.
We'll put Oscar on his lead. Oscar, come here.
Oh, we're near the main road now. See how I'm sure Oscar's very obedient, having his, his lead put on.
Oscar. Right there. Wait.
Crossing over the stile onto the old bridge. And here's some water running down here. Somewhere. I don't know where it is. Was it over there? Yeah. So we're going to go onto a footpath now, which for me is new territory. I've never been across this this footpath, Adrian.
Right.
So this is new stuff for me. Quite exciting, really, having lived in the village for nearly 26 years.
But I think that's the thing, isn't it? There's so many paths close by.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that people always know about them.
No.
And that's the key thing, really. So, we're sort of like right up to the A15 now. So but we are going to go straight across.
Yeah.
Into the field on the other side.
So this is where things are going to start getting interesting with the mud and everything. Oh, here's the footpath sign. Does Oscar know his way around here?
He'll just keep heading forward. Yeah. So we're at the A15 now. So Oscar, wait.
Yeah, this is a very busy road, isn't it? Yeah. You hear the traffic now. Lots of traffic. So even early on a Saturday morning there's plenty of traffic. Yeah. I know it gets very busy at rush hour times. So we're just coming across round a field gate along a footpath which runs along the side of a stream.
So you can start to see the limestone sort of, so this is where the limestone belt starts now. And so
it's quite sudden, isn't it?
We've got a slight incline, but this is where it starts to move away from the fens.
Yeah, that's very true, isn't it? We haven't really seen any stone before.
No.
And as Adrian says, we're now moving away from the fens. We've actually got our first little hill, I think. Yeah, we're a little bit of an incline here. Be out of breath soon, Adrian.
Yeah, I'm not used to it.
No, not living around here. Yeah, no. Well, this is interesting.
This is bringing the Peak District to to Lincolnshire.
Yeah,
sort of.
So it's getting exciting now, going up a little bit of an incline.
farm in the distance there.
We're heading west, and we're going to start heading south soon, aren't we?
Yes, yeah. So once we get to the end of this path, we then sort of head south and through Obthorpe. Yeah.
Do you know much about Obthorpe?
No, I don't. Yeah.
Or is it one of these places? Is it a small hamlet? Isn't it?
It's a little hamlet. So
Yeah.
the only thing I know, about Obthorpe is that when I was doing the Macmillan Way, there's obviously a book that accompanies the walk and describes bits of the walk, and I think it calls Obthorpe an unremarkable hamlet. So that's the only bit I know about Obthorpe.
So if you lived in Obthorpe, you might be a bit annoyed about that, mightn't you?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Well, I think it's quite a pleasant little hamlet. So
Well, yeah, I've never actually been to Obthorpe.
Yeah. Well, this is the day.
Yeah,
So,
excellent stuff.
you've got to judge for yourself whether you think it's unremarkable or not.
Yeah. So this is it here. Is it coming up?
No, so it's away to our left, as you've got the farm coming up in front of us,
Yeah.
and then it's just to our left. You can't see it because of we just over the brow of the hill.
Yeah. This is so unlike where we've been walking, isn't it?
It is.
The marked contrast between the two areas.
It is very different.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, we sort of.
Could be anywhere, couldn't we?
Yeah. It's and I think when I did the Macmillan Way, and you sort of, just saying about the guidebook you get with the walk, but I mean literally they could say when you start the walk in Baston, they could just say keep the river on your right and just keep walking.
Is that right?
Yeah, just sort of it's just everything's so flat, interesting but flat, and then as soon as you cross the A15, your landscape just starts to change.
Yeah. So you could actually get away without a guidebook. Just keep the river on the right.
Well, that was my view. Just keep the river on your right and keep going.
Yeah.
So quite a bit of water in the fields.
Still, isn't it? Yeah. That's quite high up there, isn't it? That's. Are we going up there?
No. So I did too many hills in one day. So
Yeah.
So of course, if you go to Thirlby as well, I mean, there's hills in Thirlby, so it's probably the steepest area around where we live.
Yeah.
So nice walks there as well.
Have you been to the Toft area? Because there's a hill there where the golf club is, isn't there?
Yeah, so there's a walk that I do that's on my blog that crosses the golf course. So
And does the walk start from Baston?
Well, you can do.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing, because every year you can connect everything. It just depends how far you want to walk.
Yeah.
But I when I did the walk, I drove to Thirlby and then walked from Thirlby and takes you into Lound and Toft. And then back into Thirlby, and again, countryside quite different. And,
So how do you go about discovering where these walks take you?
I guess when I'm driving, if I spot a public footpath sign, sounds a bit geeky, doesn't it? Really? But I spot a public footpath sign, I just sort of think, I wonder where that path goes to. And then I've got Ordnance Survey maps, and I've got like the Ordnance Survey app on my phone.
Yeah.
So I just then go to the app and I just look at where the path is, and then I see if I can make a walk out of it. Can you do a circular walk? How can it join up? And that's how I do it.
So you get the information. You get inspired by a place,
Inspired by a sign.
yeah, inspired by a sign. Research it on your map, and then work out. Try and do a circular walk if you can.
If I can, yeah. And then sort of put it on the blog. So that, I mean, the walks I've got on there at the moment are primarily just around Baston, but now sort of starting to put more on around Thirlby, and then gradually expanding out.
You'll have a book out at some point.
I don't know. Do people read books anymore? I don't know. Maybe I will. So yeah. The easiest thing to do, I guess, is just put them on the blog, and people can I guess while you're out and about, there's links on the blog to maps as well, so people can take it on their mobile phone.
So when we put the show notes out with this show, we can cover some of that. Adrian. Refer people to your blog and your Facebook page.
Yeah.
And they can have a look for themselves. Now, it was interesting when we met. You were telling me about a circular walk that you're looking at revamping, quite a big project.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, I'm always looking for the next thing to do, and I dropped across a book probably 2 or 3 years ago now, called the South Kesteven Round.
Yeah.
And
South Kesteven Round.
South Kesteven Round. Yeah. And it was a book written by a chap called Robert Brownlow, and it was published in 2005. It seems like the book is out of publication now.
Oh right.
And it doesn't appear to be. If you go on the tourism South Stephen tourism sites, there's no reference to it. So yeah, my project for this year, or certainly the next few months, is to do the South Stephen round, update the book, and start to put that on my blog as well. So
that's fascinating.
Yeah, and it's a walk of about 130 miles.
Wow.
And it connects, I guess, the market towns in South Stephen.
Yeah.
So Grantham, Bourne, Deeping, Stamford.
So it goes as far north as Grantham.
Yeah. I mean, it pretty much covers the whole South Stephen district, and just quite an interesting little project, really.
So is it one of those walks that people could do in bits, in segments?
Yeah, I think so. I guess it's always the challenge. I think that you're able to do it in segments.
Yeah.
It'd be nice, maybe if there were some circular walks within walks, as it were.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether that would be possible. Yeah, I think the idea would be that you do a stretch of the walk and do it in stages. So So I'm quite excited about that. It's quite something different to do.
Yeah, I'm sure people would be very interested in doing that. Certainly people from around the area and people from outside the area. The book itself, you mentioned it was out of print. You got a copy, okay?
So I managed to good old eBay. I think I got a copy off eBay.
Yeah.
So they are around there.
And is the author still around? Is he still writing? Is he still walking?
I'm meeting Robert on tomorrow evening. Actually.
Oh, are you?
Just to meet him and talk about, I guess, reviving the book. So I've had a bit of email correspondence with Robert, and I think it was definitely when he wrote the walk, it was a bit of a labour of love. And I just think I guess it feels like now's the time to probably just go back to the walk and update it, and hopefully, maybe we can get the book back out there again, and just start to make it a bit more widely known about the walk.
Well, it sounds really interesting, actually. Perhaps have a reprint edition too of
maybe,
of the book.
Yeah. Although I understand Robert's got quite a few of the original books printed, so it might be like an edition one with a page added in. But we'll see. Maybe nothing much has changed.
No.
But there are a few permissive paths in the book, so I just need to make sure that the permission to walk on those paths is still there. So I think probably as the weather starts to pick up a bit, start doing the first stages of it. I think in the book it's down to about 5 or 6 stages. So in each walk probably is around 12 to 18 miles.
Is this something that I've heard of the Ramblers Association? Is this all connected with the Ramblers Association?
Yeah. Well, I guess not connected, but I guess I have been interested in the Ramblers Association. And there are various, like Long Distance Walkers Association. So it's not directly connected. No. But obviously they have an interest on the Long Distance Walkers Association website. The South Stephen Round is logged as a walk on there. So it is known. Yeah. But not very easily accessible, I'd say, in terms of information about the walk.
So Robert, the author of the book, did he actually create this walk himself?
Yes, I think so. Yeah,
it's quite incredible.
Yeah,
just by joining footpaths together.
Well, I think that's it. And it's a bit like the Macmillan Way and all these long walks. Yeah. It's just a combination of somebody. When you were saying to me, how do you sort of like come across a walk? You literally get maps out and try and join paths together and sort of make an interesting walk. Yeah. And I guess that's what's happened with the South Stephen Round. But it's not only the walk. There's so much information and history in the book as well that Robert's researched as he's done the walk. So
which is why it became a labour of love for him, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So I'm so really looking forward to doing that. Hopefully, getting stuff out there and so watch this space.
Excellent.
And we've got South Stephen or Discover South Stephen are interested in what we're doing as well. So it might be on their website as well. So
look forward to seeing that. Yeah. So I must admit, I've never done this bit of the walk before, and we're walking now on what looks like a road, or a private road even to the farm that's past.
Yeah, it's just I guess a road back there, but it is a public access road. So we're fine. So,
although I guess it just ends at the farm that we've just been through, and then you have to go on foot.
Yeah. So we're coming up to a road now as well. So to the right we've got the A15. If you went straight on, you'll be heading towards Thirlby.
Heading west.
Yep. And we're going to go left. Yeah. And that'll take us into Obthorpe, and we start the journey back round to Baston.
Yeah, so we've probably reached a good halfway point, maybe slightly
Oscar,
over now.
so I'm just going to call Oscar back because we've got a car. Come on.
Yeah. So we're heading south now.
Yeah, so a bit
Turning
of,
left, heading south.
bit of road walking now. So,
Yeah.
But it's not a busy road at all.
No.
Plenty of sort of verges on the left and right, so safe for people to go on. And you can see Obthorpe coming up now,
Yeah.
just in front of us.
This is the unremarkable place.
Unremarkable hamlet. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Well, it doesn't look too unremarkable. It's got a collection of probably half a dozen houses.
Yeah. This is a pub, of course, but.
Well, it could have done with a pub, really. couldn't it? I'm sure at one time there would have
I'm
been.
sure there
one.
would have been.
Yeah.
I'm sure there would have been.
Yeah. Just full of farms, isn't it, around here?
It is.
So we're right in the middle of the
There's,
farming land.
Yeah, there's a disused railway line as well, which was, I'm not sure it was part of the Beeching cuts. I don't know. It was a disused railway line that runs from Thirlby and just beyond the telegraph poles there, and it runs across the back of Obthorpe. You can walk from Thirlby in the fields and then cut back down to Obthorpe and back round and down into Baston as well. So
I'd heard about this old railway. Is there evidence of where it was?
no, well, evidence in terms of I mean, it is literally like a flat, prepared ground.
Yes.
But obviously no tracks there now. So, but yeah, useful as a little walk really. So,
That's a
Let's
walk you've
use
done
it.
a few times, is it?
yeah, a couple of times. Yeah, a couple of times. But again, it's you were asking about like whether you could do the Thirlby walk from Baston. Well, all these walks you can just connect. Just depends how far you want to walk, really.
Yeah.
One of the things I want to do this year as well, we do a bit of a pub walk as well. So starting in Baston, and
A pub walk. That sounds interesting.
Yeah. So I think you can probably head out of Baston towards Langtoft.
Yeah.
And cut across towards Barham.
Yeah.
So a beautiful pub in Barham. And then it's just I've not made all the connections yet.
No.
But so many nice pubs around around the local area. It does it does make a nice end to the walk, doesn't it? If you just find a nice pub as well. So yeah.
No, that sounds an interesting project, especially with the beer involved as well. So we're just coming into an unremarkable village or hamlet of Obthorpe. Like I say, I think it's a bit unfair. It looks very pleasant to me.
It does to me.
I suppose there's nothing here apart from houses.
Houses and farms.
Yes. Yeah.
So we're as we walk through the hamlet, we're going to start to cut across the fields. So if it's not too muddy, I'll say there's.
That's not Richard from the pub's car, is it? Is that where Richard lives?
Yeah.
I thought it might be, actually. Yeah, I recognise the car. There's not many red pickups like that.
No, it's Richard's.
Just coming up to house here with a flag in the garden. Now, what flag's that?
Is it the Lincolnshire flag? I think it is, isn't it? It is, yeah, it's the Lincolnshire flag.
So we've got, somebody very, very proud Lincolnshire person here, flying a Lincolnshire flag. Not often you see a Lincolnshire flag. Birds flying around.
Yes, so lots of bird activity. Footpath coming up, but it's not signposted, so we're going to take that footpath. Just make sure we're heading the right farm.
It's always good on walks just to sort of be a little bit uncertain about somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just adds to the excitement of where you are. Some lovely old buildings here.
Beautiful, isn't it? This is beautiful, isn't it? Very nice. I think this is what I like about getting out and about. You just see things that you will never see in a car. And, just some of the buildings that have been. This is like an old barn that's been converted.
It has, isn't it? Yeah, it's a collection. I mean, if we could describe the buildings here, you've got a collection of new and old. You've got buildings that probably were built in the 17th century, which have then been added on to more recently with solar panels, etc. We're back on the footpath. This time we're going across a stubbly field. You can hear the stubble beneath our feet. We've exited the unremarkable hamlet of Obthorpe. We're going across this field in what looks like a diagonal direction.
Yeah.
Where are we heading to now?
So we're heading towards Willsthorpe now. So I guess by cutting across the fields, we're just taking like a lump out of the roadway, so we can follow the road round.
Yeah.
But just a bit more pleasant to walk across fields rather than walking on road.
Yeah, it is.
So there's a new bridge here. This is Well, one of the frustrations of the past that you can never really, unless you were prepared to sort of like go down to the dike and up the other side, you couldn't cross this bit.
Or do a long jump.
Do a long jump, yeah.
So thank you very much, Lincolnshire Council.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. That's very good.
That's a good job, isn't it?
Very good. And yes, a waymark sign on the bridge as well.
This looks very, very. You can almost smell the treatment fluid from the timber that's been recently treated, can't you?
It's been done very recently, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Very good.
It's got to be this year, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely this year. It wasn't here last time I did this walk, so very recent.
Yeah. The mud's quite hard now. After a couple of days of no rain, drying off. It's definitely a lot lighter now.
It is.
Just.
The sun didn't quite make it, did it?
No.
Some light in the evenings there, but
Sunny spells, it said this morning on the forecast. We haven't really had a sunny spell, although it's not too dull. You can't complain too much.
You get what you get, don't you, with the weather? But when we looked yesterday, it looked as though there was going to be some sun between 7 and 9. Yeah. So not quite managed that.
I don't know what's been growing here, Adrian, but it's,
I don't know.
The stalks or stems are very hard, aren't they? Not more of that willow stuff, is it?
No, I don't think so. No.
That's biofuel stuff, wasn't it? You mentioned?
Biofuel, the miscanthus, biofuel.
Yeah.
So I think they had oilseed rape in here last year.
Yeah, so rotating it, obviously.
Rotating, so I guess they're going to plough it all up, and I guess usually this to be ploughed and be set now, ready for this year. But I'm not quite sure that's not been done. So we're just heading towards these trees now. We'll pick up the road again.
Yeah.
And then we'll follow the road round into Woolsthorpe.
Excellent. Okay. What I find good about going out this time in the morning is that it's a good start to the day.
It is. Oh, it's lovely, isn't it? Yeah.
And there's you've got your day ahead of you when you get back.
Absolutely. Yeah.
People are just starting to get up in the house.
Yeah. No, it is nice. Yeah, up and about early. It's great.
So we're just along a little road now, quite a narrow lane, single track almost, with car coming towards us. And we're heading for Woolsthorpe, I believe now.
So heading towards Woolsthorpe, and just a bit more road walking, but generally very quiet road. Although I can see another car heading in our direction now, so it's making a liar of me.
Oh, we're doing well today then.
But it's just it's like he's gone off in the other direction, so that's fine.
Yeah.
So it's quite a safe road to be walking on. So you can see Woolsthorpe coming up now. So we're coming to like a junction. So I think you turn right for Manthorpe and left for Woolsthorpe. So but both roads are fairly quiet. Yeah.
We're just going past a farm that's got a lot of toilet cubicles in its field.
Yeah. Maybe he's been growing them, I don't know.
Maybe he's been growing them, yeah. Or he's got a lot of people living there. There's only one bathroom. But, I reckon there must be some business or something he's got where he's renting them out.
You think so?
Yeah, probably for Glastonbury or whatever. Amazing what you see in the countryside, isn't it?
Indeed. Yes, amazing what you drop across.
I can just hear the train in the distance. I don't know whether the mic will pick this up actually, but I can just hear a train. The main north-south East Coast line.
Yeah, we're not too far away actually from that. I think when you're a bit further on, you can actually see the line.
Yeah, we'll just miss it, won't we?
Yes, yeah.
So that'll be Braceborough over there, won't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
The church.
So I think once you get into Woolsthorpe, again there's another walk that'll then take you out to Braceborough, and I've forgotten the village's name now, but it's like that's like another walk that you can start. But if you wanted a long walk, you just sort of keep on going and head out to Braceborough and back round.
Yeah, there's a lot of walks people can do here, aren't there?
Yes, yeah. Gretford was what I was trying to think of, but you can start in Gretford and walk out to Braceborough.
I've done a few walks where I've taken the car to Gretford and then sort of walked up to Shillingthorpe Hall, which is quite interesting.
Well, Shillingthorpe Hall, I think, is on the South Stephen Round Walk.
Oh, is it?
And that's supposed to be like a really beautiful walk along there. So I've not done that personally, but I'm looking forward to doing that. No, part of the.
I've done it a couple of times.
Yes,
it's very good. And, there's the remains of the Shillingthorpe Hall, which burnt down in the 1950s.
Oh, right, okay.
The army used it for recovery of people who'd been hurt in the war.
Right, okay, yeah.
Before that, it was a high-class institution for people with mental health issues.
Right.
And one of the think they called him at the time, it doesn't sound particularly nice now, but Mad King George. Spent some time there. Had you heard about that?
I'd heard that, yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah. So it's got some history to it, but like I say, there's nothing left of it now apart from... You can actually see where it was, there's rubble. You can see where the outline of the building, and it's still got the remains of the garden. It's quite an interesting place to go through because nothing's really happened to it since.
No.
Quite wild now. Yeah. Lots of rabbits and deer and foxes.
Oscar would be in his element there.
He would, he'd love it. Actually. Perhaps best not take him there.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah. So we're just coming into Woolsthorpe. We've got the sign here on the left-hand side. Again, look at these fields. They're flooded, aren't they?
Yeah,
They really are.
Yeah.
30 miles an hour, so we better slow down now, Oscar. No more running.
We've got Oscar on leave, we're all right.
Yeah. Birds tweeting away, daffodils coming out everywhere.
It's just like sign of spring, and it's lovely to see.
Yeah, we should earn a nice breakfast, I think, when we get back.
I think so, definitely. So we're just going to walk through Woolsthorpe itself. So it's quite a long village, Woolsthorpe. And then as we sort of come out the other end of Woolsthorpe, there's like another path we pick up that crosses through fields and sort of takes us back to Baston. So yeah, I think you did ask earlier on whether we actually cross King Street, and I think we do as the way back to Baston.
Oh yeah, the bit just
Roman
as we head off the footpath,
off
the field. Yes, I know that. Yeah, the old Roman road of King Street. I mean, the other thing, of course, is that Main Street in Baston was actually a Roman road that went out to Spalding. So we actually, the whole place is Roman.
It is, yeah. As you if you head out of Baston towards Langtoft, and you come to a place called Rabbit Island.
I've never heard of that.
No, yeah. So there's a part of the walk, and you can see the remains of it. But it is what it is. It's just like a piece of land surrounded by water that the Romans used to keep rabbits on.
Really?
So of course they couldn't escape, but they're there for food. So
that's interesting.
Yeah. So
Rabbit Island.
Well, that's the name I call it.
Yeah.
But it is shown on the map as like a moat. I think it's shown on an ordnance survey. But yeah, Rabbit Island.
Yeah, that's interesting. We're coming in the village now, and it's a very pretty village, isn't it? We've got an old style.
Yes.
I think they're K2 telephone box. I think they call them K2s actually. And we've got some nice blossom on the trees here. That's beautiful, isn't it? With a very clear running stream on our left-hand side going underneath the driveways of the houses. Yeah. I think the birds are up to a lot of things now, aren't they? Lots of activity going on.
It's nice.
Nesting and everything. And,
very quiet, but lots of bird noise. And
yes. Yeah. No pub in this village either.
No, I wasn't going to mention that, but no. Disappointing.
Yeah, well, that's why Baston's Baston, isn't it? Two pubs.
Two pubs.
They should call it two pubs of Baston.
Yeah, they should really. Yeah. Both pubs serve real ale, so I'm in my element really. That's why I live there, I think.
So you like cask ale rather than kegged?
I do.
Keg beer?
Yes, I'm a big cask ale fan. So I'm part of member of CAMRA as well. So I managed to get to 2 or 3 beer festivals a year with friends. So it's one of my interests, one of my passions. So,
well, I think it probably goes very well with walking, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. It's great.
Do you call yourself a rambler or a walker or a dog walker?
Yes, it's a good question, isn't it? Yeah, rambler. I think I like rambling.
You don't have to be categorised, do you?
No. Yeah, just more of an ambler than a rambler.
An ambler.
Yeah.
So we're coming up to the end of the village here, and I can see the steeple of a church. So many churches in these little villages, aren't they?
Yeah.
Each village has its own church.
And they're beautiful churches, aren't they? That's a stunning building, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
So we're going to come up to another public footpath on the right here. So, and this is the path. This is where the Macmillan Way goes off. So we are still on the Macmillan Way.
Oh, you mean turn right here?
Yeah. So
yes, I've done that walk.
Yeah,
actually.
and that's the one that goes off to Retford and Braceborough and so on.
Yes. So just nice. on the Macmillan Way bit, we've actually, is this still part of the Macmillan Way they're on now?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So we've been on it since we've been on the since we joined the river.
Yeah.
So as we came out of the
so probably 2 or 3 miles then.
Yes. So pretty much we followed it. So we'll leave it here, and then we'll just head off back round through the end of Woolsthorpe and back into Baston. So it's coming towards
we've got some cyclists coming towards us now.
Morning.
This whole area is full of cyclists.
It's very flat, so it's ideal
It's a
for
good place
cycling,
for
I
a
guess.
cyclist, isn't it? Although there is the wind to contend with,
There is,
which can be quite fierce in South Lincolnshire.
Yeah.
I think people have a sort of reputation for stooping forward in Lincolnshire, don't they? Just to cut through the wind.
So this is quite an interesting building, I always think. So obviously a mill maybe of some sort.
Yeah, you can just see the top floor jutting out, ready to accept products from a horse and cart at some point. And this is the old manor house.
A manor house, yeah.
Yeah, now that's got to be really old. Some very old trees as well. And coming up here, we can see that there's been some devastation by one of the recent storms, where it looks like a tree's come through a very old wall. There's some bollards there telling traffic not to go near. Oh, crikey, yeah, look at that.
Oh, wow.
That's really come through, isn't
it? Has.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing.
We set off on the walk as we were coming out of Baston up that track. There was a tree there that had blown over in the storms. Oscar, come inside. Come here. So, very strong winds, weren't they?
Yeah. Oh, they were incredible. Single traffic all the way along here, cars giving way to each other. And we're starting to head east again. We've been heading south, now we're heading east again. We're just saying goodbye to the... Oh, good morning. Nearly got run over by a cyclist stepping into the middle of the road. We're just starting to head east again, and we can see it's starting to get flat.
Yes.
Amazingly flat, isn't it?
Again, yeah.
Always know there's a place up here called Stamford Tractors.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to skirt around the edge of Stamford Tractors.
Yeah, I don't know why it's Stamford Tractors.
No,
It's not.
Not in Stamford.
Not in Stamford. So,
I'm not sure if have you seen a tractor there as well?
no, I've seen lots of old farm machinery.
Yes, yeah.
And that's it. Keeping an eye out for traffic.
I think it's cyclists more to worry about because you can't hear them sort of coming behind you.
No.
And, so one or two people like ringing bells and shouting. Yeah. Get out of the way.
So we're back on the walk now, and we've just gone through a little footpath that's been covered in trees. Almost like a tunnel, isn't it, Adrian?
It is, yeah. It's one of my favourite little stretches of walk, this, as you come out of Wilsthorpe and then back towards Baston. It's a nice wooded little walk, and it's lovely. Very pleasant, isn't it? Yeah, and where we are now, you can hear the birds again. I've just gone quiet as I said that, so but it's a lovely spot, this. Yeah, you can hear the trains in the background, and very, very peaceful, very quiet.
Yeah, it is peaceful. I can hear the odd. It must be doing some shooting somewhere because I can hear the odd gun.
Sounds like it.
The odd gun going on.
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it?
Just about to cross over this footbridge and then head left.
I see that Oscar's still got plenty of energy.
Oh, he'll still be going. Yes, he won't stop. Come on, he loves it. So tail's still wagging. So we're still quite happy. So yeah, we're on the final stretch now, and we're homeward stretch. You're back now towards Baston, so you can just sort of like see cars on King Street in the distance. Yeah, and these fields have all been sort of like broken up here and ploughed and through winter.
I noticed the other day actually that the footpath itself actually cuts across diagonally, but you really couldn't walk this. Could you?
No, not as it is. I think up until Christmas, around about Christmas time, you could cross the field, but then obviously it's been ploughed to break down the soil. So, but yeah, there's a good path around the edge of the field, and we've got some more like woods to the left. So Oscar's in there at the minute, sort of sniffing around and looking for what he can find. Yeah, and there's quite a lot of wildlife in there, I would have thought. And,
there has to be, doesn't there? Really?
Yeah. So Oscar's lost interest and come out and got the scent of something as we head up towards the top of the field.
A fox, would it be?
Maybe.
A hare or a rabbit? Or
yeah, he's certainly got the scent of something there.
Yeah.
And this is one of the great things, I guess, about having a dog around here as well. You just, you don't have to worry about. He can let him sort of like run, and he's in fields, and there's no farm animals as such that's going to disturb. And I just think we're still lucky where we live.
You've got this open space.
Yes, I guess where we live in Baston, but generally in sort of like in South Lincolnshire, you've got these beautiful villages, and next to in the countryside, and it's lovely.
Yeah. And we just turned left up here, so we're heading east now in single
file.
Yeah. Start to hear the traffic again now as we come towards King Street on this final stretch. We've just crossed King Street, the Roman road, and we're heading back now down what's known as the Gretford Road into Baston itself. It's been a great walk, Adrian. Really enjoyed it.
It's been very nice, hasn't it? It's great to have you walking with me as well.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah, it's always good to get out and into the fresh air with people and have a chat.
Yeah.
I think it's quite inspirational in terms of how many walks there are in what could be considered, just a little village in the middle of the country. There's so many walks. So, if people wanted to do some of these walks, where would they find the information about it?
Yeah.
Adrian?
So my blog address is and it's scramlet.co.uk. So that's a bit of an unusual name. There's a bit of history to the word scramlet from I guess personally for me. But the scramlet's a bit of a mixture between scrambled eggs and omelettes. So and I guess it's a bit like the blog that I do. So it covers various things, which is generally my light-hearted take on things in life. So there's various things you can read on that blog, including the walks that we've talked about today as well.
And I guess when you do a bit more work on the South Coast or the Kesteven circular walk, you'll have information about that as well.
So that'll be there's a bit of information on my blog page now about that. Not too much because we're at the very beginning of that, discovering that walk again.
Yeah.
But if you keep popping back onto that blog page, you'll sort of like find links to the walk as it evolves. And I think what I intend to do is, I guess through the blog, is just describe the journey as well, the journey of rediscovery of this walk, and the meetings I've had, and just build a picture of getting the walk back up and running again, as it were.
Yeah, no, that's great. So it's been a great conversation, Adrian.
Yeah, thank you. It's been good. I've enjoyed it. Yeah.
Good. Okay, we'll catch up later.
Excellent.
Thank you.
My thanks go to today's guest, Adrian Riley, renowned local walking enthusiast and rambler. Check out the show notes for more details. You have been listening to Undercurrent Stories. I hope that you enjoyed the show. Please subscribe to the show for future episodes, and if you like what you hear, please rate and review. Until next time, this is Bob Wells, wishing you all the very best.